I am absolutely honored to be here today, speaking before not only so many talented friends and colleagues, but our hardworking administration, our world-class faculty, and of course our families, without whom none of us would be here today. You know, the last time I think we were all together in a big place like this was our first day of school. It was during preterm, and we were in that Radio City Music Hall of Stern, Schimmel Auditorium. I remember two things about that first morning. The first was that there was something very special about the Stern community. We had no idea what that meant, so we pretty much ignored it. The second thing we were told, though, was that we were among the brightest and most diverse class that the school had ever seen. And they celebrated that diversity by giving us 400 matching black backpacks. When we wore them, you couldn't tell any of us apart. So it's nice to see here we are 2 years later, still dressed exactly alike. Now, with those backpacks, we were told that Stern would offer us a unique set of tools to transform us into the global business leaders of tomorrow. So we looked inside eagerly. I remember hoping to find maybe a finance textbook, but instead we found the true tools of the global business giants. A nice 4-cheese pasta sauce, some hair gel, and a bottle of aspirin. Now, it was easy to laugh all this off in those first days. Our biggest concerns were passing statistics and carving out enough time for beer blast, which we did. But then, just 2 weeks into school, the global economy collapsed around us and took with it many of our soaring expectations. All I could think about were the internships that were drying up before our very eyes and how intensely competitive things were about to become. Frankly, the last thing on my mind was the Stern community. But then I got an email I don't think I'll ever forget. It was from Fabio Noronha, a former study group member of mine. Fabio had somehow, somewhere along the way, remembered that I had shown a passing interest in investment banking, and he reached out to me out of the blue, offering to not only put me in touch with a bank that he had recently started working with, but more importantly, to give me his full endorsement with the firm before my interview. Now, even in the best of times, it's risky to endorse a friend for a job that you yourself had only just received, and as we know, these were not the best of times. To me, what Fabio did went beyond just being generous. He really went out on a limb for me. And what's so remarkable about this is that what Fabio did wasn't unique. Things like this were happening all over our campus. As interview season started in January, students coming out of interviews were sharing the questions that they had just heard, even knowing that they might be jeopardizing their own chance at that job, but they did it to give our classmates an advantage. We count on each other at Stern, and we trust each other, because we have seen our classmates rise to every challenge that they have faced in the past 2 years. I'm reminded of a classmate and good friend of ours, Tim Fisher, who's an Iraq War veteran. He deserves it. Tim and some friends were planning a spring break trip to Costa Rica, and one of Tim's friends was concerned because he was coming in from Brazil later than everybody else and might not be able to find the rest of the group. When Tim heard his concerns, he laughed and he said, "Dude, I found my way from Kuwait to Baghdad. I think I'll find you guys on the beach." Those are the kinds of individuals in this room today. Individuals who can find their way from Kuwait to Baghdad. Individuals who constantly put the needs of their classmates above their own. Individuals so bright that they not only aced their classes, but many of them did it in a second language. But today, we become more than a collection of very talented individuals. Today, we face the world we are about to change as one single, strong unit. We have earned this. Today, we walk out that door together as the Stern class of 2010. Congratulations.